can hear the kicks coming through absolutely fine now. So if we just loop this bit, ignore the click, that's just a part of the loop. So if I took this off, we've got that distortion at the start, which is nasty sounding. And without it, and with it, sorry, yeah. Okay, so we've got the loan of our tune is now consistent because we've drawn in some sine waves that we can trust, and we've moved the bass line around the kick. So let's listen to it. Okay, so that's some simple stuff. Now let's do some rooting. So yeah, we've got the low end pretty consistent, but the kick and snare transients want to take the forefront of the tune. So I send everything apart from those two things, the kick and snare transients, the kick and snare in general, to a bus that I can then sidechain. So let's do just that. Create a group called Sidechain group. So this is going to have a ProC on it, which is a native, a FabFilter plugin. It's just a compressor really. So we're going to have it on the quickest settings possible. So a hard knee. We're going on to expert. And so usually the internal sidechain just means it's going to be triggered by the audio coming into it, and then the threshold determines when the compressor starts. Instead of that, we're going to have external, so we're going to send some information to it that tells it when to work, basically. So I've got something specifically set up for that. Instead of using the kick and snare, I've got a sidechain trigger that I bounced out called Sidechain Transient. So basically, this is just a really short piece of audio that allows my compressor to act really quickly. So if you were using the snare, for instance, that whole shape would be taken into account. So the compressor would start here and it would end, depending on the threshold, somewhere over here. But I don't want that. I want it to happen for a really short amount of time. So we just kind of want to be sidechaining for this transient bit, the loudest part of the drum, this bit here. Okay, so in order to do that, I've created a really short transient, which sounds like this, but we're never actually going to hear it in the tune, so it doesn't really matter what it sounds like. It's just a cue, really. So I'm going to match the drum rhythm with this transient. So the drum rhythm goes like this. So the transient rhythm goes like this. Okay, and again, I said we're not going to be hearing that. So I've turned the sidechain enable on ProC, and instead of going to the output, it's going to go to that sidechain there. So now this is telling this when to duck. So let's get everything sent to the sidechain group. So all this business wants to go there. So if I quick link and then sidechain group. Okay, so well, that didn't work. Quick link. There you go. Okay, so now this group should have all the audio apart from the kick and snare, which I'd say it does. Let's turn on the sidechain group, sidechain trigger. As you can see now, the trigger is ducking. Cool. So we've got it on the quickest settings possible, so it's just reacting just around that. Let's bring the kick and snare back in. Of course, it's a bit distorted. If you leave auto on, it's going to boost the gain after the compressor, which is why it was distorting so badly.